Hi, how's it going? I hope you're well and curious to find out about the IELTS Academic Writing Task 1. In this tutorial, we'll be dealing with pie charts analyses, but if you're interested in other types of IELTS academic writing tasks, then click on the links below and watch the appropriate videos. So here we go. This is the sample task that we are going to be analyzing together in this video. And the first step is orientation. So making sure that we've read the rubric carefully and we understand what the percentages refer to and what the colors refer to as well. And then we should be ready to write the introduction, which is nothing more than a rephrasal of the rubric itself. For example, the pie charts we are presented with illustrate projections regarding global production categorized by sector in the years 2030 and 2050. Remember, do not copy-paste, rephrase, use your own words. Now on to the overview. I'm going to introduce this paragraph with a linker that signposts the idea of a general perspective. Overall, global production is not forecast to undergo major changes, and we can easily see this. The two pie charts, after all, are very similar in between the 2 years. However, the most significant changes would be the rise in the manufacturing industry and the decrease in the energy sector. In fact, production from the energy and the agriculture sectors is projected to decrease, while all the other categories are forecast to increase their output. So this is basically what I need to cover in this overview, whether there were significant changes or whether there will be significant changes in this case, since our time reference is future. And what are the sectors that will likely increase and which are the ones that will likely decrease their productivity? All right, so the in-depth analysis will have to come in now and support the general observations that I've made with more detailed comparisons and quotations of the percentages themselves. Thus, it is anticipated that services and manufacturing will account for well over 3/4 of the global production in both 2030 and 2050, amounting to 80.8%, 50.2% for the former, 30.6% for the latter, and 84.3%, 51.2%, and 33.1%, respectively. So let's look into the language here. The former links back to the first of the two sectors I've mentioned, which is services, while the latter refers to the second one, manufacturing. Please also notice the use of the adverb respectively, which makes sure that the reader understands that the second sum, 84.3%, refers to the second year, 2050. And now it's time to continue on with the alternative, with the comparative, with the contrast. Conversely, the proportion of production from energy is predicted to decline from 6.7% in 2030 to only 4.3% in 2050, which makes for an approximate decrease of a third. It is also expected that there will be a similarly dramatic drop in agricultural production, which is likely to have from 4% to 2%, while materials production is forecast to register growth. And here I'm using while, the linker, the comparative linker, in order to go back to the idea of increases. However, I've left the materials production and the info communications and technology last because they are the most insignificant rises, as we can see by comparing the two numbers. Okay, so let's put everything into perspective. Here's the whole text, and I've taken the liberty to underline the words and phrases that indicate the fact that the time frame is future. Being in 2020 means that 2030 and 2050 are in the future. So I'm going to use words like projections and passive phrases like is not forecast to, is projected to, anticipated to, expected to, and so on. But I'm also going to use the future. Will account for, there will be. So pay attention to these phrases and words. Otherwise, feel free to pause and to read the text carefully in order to process it better, perhaps. Drop me any questions that you have in the comments. I'm open to suggestions as well. And don't forget to subscribe and click the bell in order to keep updated with the next materials. So, keep in touch and see you soon.